the most overtaking in that, even though we did start with he was having a lot of defending and overtaking to stay there. But in the end, his tactics were, if you come past me, that's not. And in the end, that tactic playing in his favour, and he went to fourth place. Row 3 is going to be teammates Joe Turney and Reese Hunter. Jordan Brown Nutley and Elliot Bryntil, both very quick in that first race. Joe Turney indeed got the fastest lap with the 7.70, but Brown Nutley and Bryntil both making decent progress. Row 4 for them. Brown Nutley the grid. So, again, Dylan LaHaye is row 5 miles at the defending champion Dylan LaHaye, is the vice champion. So they are inside of row 4 and 5 respectively. LaHaye then really disappointing start of the day for him to the season. In fact, having qualified down 18th, he finished 9th place in the end. That's where he'll start. Still, last season at this event, he won every race, at least both races today. So, Dylan LaHaye, not where we would expect him. Let's see what he can do with this one. How's that was outside? Last man off, Gavin Wendy on row 6. Philip Barber, Conrad Christensen, row 7. Jason Lockwood, and this are row 8. Let's choose on and Samuel Harrison on row 9. Nick Cuppins and Lara Deckers, row 10. Luca Calford, Victor Ford, row 11. Storm Brodor and Enzo Ferrari, row 12. So, Rehard Goldberg and Anton Overbeek, row 13. So, Tigerson, Sabo Boldazar, row 14. And William Hughes of row 15. That's a pretty good sight, isn't it? A full grid of carts going round the last corner at Genk, getting ready to go for a race start. 16 laps on the board. Barrett there to the inside in the 272. In the 204 is Nick Knowlton. Do we get away first time? Yes, we do. Barrett leading us down towards turn number 1 then. And Barrett it is who's going to lead us out of the first corner. Going into second place is Clayton Ravenscroft. And Ravenscroft challenges for the lead and takes it. Ravenscroft come from a long way back there. But going into turn 2, caught Brad Barrett napping. And Ravenscroft somehow leads this race going on to the back straight. Third place then is Nick Knowlton. Let's just try and pick up who's fourth. But another change of lead. Barrett going back up the inside of Ravenscroft through the chicane. They're almost side by side. So Barrett putting one back on Ravenscroft here. They're exchanging blows out front at the moment then are Barrett and Ravenscroft as they head down towards the cafe. And here we go. 2-1 Ravenscroft then as we go through the right-hander. Barrett, how are you going to respond to this one? Is he going to go up the inside at the last corner? Ravenscroft covering it off. So it's Ravenscroft leading Barrett. Then it is Mick Knowlton. Then it's Joe Turney. And 5th place is Hannes Morin. Then it is Reese Hunter. 7th place, is Miles App. Then it is Jordan Brown Nutley, David Remy, Ilian Bryntil rounds out the top 10 at the moment. I feel we're going to see a lot more changes in the early stages of this race, but Clayton Ravenscroft it is indeed who leads at the moment. Down the back straight they go, and looks like Joe Turney's got the run on Mick Knowlton, and Turney goes through the 3rd place. Oh, and it's all gone wrong for Mick Knowlton. He's dropped back to 5th place, Hannes Morin has gone through the 4th, and Reese Hunter's actually gone through the 5th place as well. So Mick Knowlton has dropped all the way down to 6th place. Now he has the reigning vice champion of Jordan Brown Nutley to deal with. David Remy's just in behind that, having gone past Ilian Bryntil. So a very frantic start to the race. We've lost, it seems, Overbeek. Antoine Overbeek seems to have disappeared. There's yellow flags over at turn 6, and I believe that's where he has gone off the circuit. And we have someone tailing round at the back of the field, which is we have Tigerson and Unum, I think, he's in the wars once again, and Deckers as well. So not good starts to the championship for those two. Now we had a change for 3rd place there. Hannes Morin went past Joe Turney. And as we were referring to, Hannes Morin getting on the defensive there. This is a familiar sight to Joe Turney today, having to deal with Hannes Morin, who started to defend well, but Joe Turney went back past Hannes Morin there, and it looked as if to me Hannes Morin ran wide. So I wonder if he was given some assistance or if that was just a simple mistake from Morin. Either or, they have swapped places. Here are the two leaders. Barrett looks over his shoulder and gives the sign to Ravenscroft, get on with it. So we're not going to see a battle between the top two, at least for the time being. So it's all down to the guys in third, fourth, and so on. And it's Turney from Morin, Knowlton, Hunter, Brown Nutley, Apps, LaHaye is up to ninth place. Bennett Tilly and Brian Till. Behind that, we have Christensen, Varva, then it's Van Vark, Roomfist, Remy, Cuppins, Lockwood, Boothorn, Ferrari, Teuton, Harrison, Bouldazar, Calfo, Growart, Tiggerson, Goldbergs, Deckers. Then it's Newnham who's out the race, likewise Overby. Here's the top two heading down through the right-hander. And it is the battle for third place between Joe Turney, Hannes Morin and Mick Knowlton. Now, they haven't really worked together so well so far as a change for fourth place. Hannes Morin losing fourth place there to Mick Knowlton. They really do need to start working together now, though, and Mick Knowlton got the nod there from Hannes Morin to say, yep, let's work together now and go after Joe Turney, get past him, and then go after the leaders. Behind that, Jordan Brown Nutley and Miles Apt and Dylan LaHaye have all gone past Reese Hunter, who's going backwards at the moment as Hunter loses a place also to Brian Seals. Over at the hairpin, Apps goes past Jordan Brown Nutley for sixth place. So two teammates swapping positions there. Apps moving forward in this one pretty well. Started 10th place, now into sixth place at the moment. Still 11 laps to go and we cross the line. Gap from second to third, just over 1.2 seconds at the moment as our leaders head up towards the last corner. Mick Knowlton has disappeared from Hannes Morin here and is now right on the back of Joe Turney. And a little bit of contact there between Dylan LaHaye and I think that was Jordan Brown Nutley. So the two title contenders of last year going head to head there through the last corner. There was definitely some contact. They both ran wide and I wouldn't like to point the blame at either of them, but Dylan LaHaye has just gone past Gillian Breinsil, so he walked away ahead in that one. So LaHaye now up into seventh place. Breinsil is dropping down the order once again. He's the one now making a move on screen there on, that would have been, trying to work out who he passed there, but he was making a move there on what I think may have been Brown Nutley perhaps, but Breinsil having to just make some more places. It was indeed Brown Nutley. Apologies for the delayed response there on that one, but it's changing so much. It is just pretty difficult to keep up with. Now, Mick Knowlton has gone past Joe Turney, so that move did happen. We were kind of expecting it. Mick Knowlton is quickest on track, so for Joe Turney and Hannes Morin, they've got a good guide to follow here in Mick Knowlton. Let's not forget, Mick Knowlton qualified pretty well earlier. Let's see, he did qualify in pole position. That was Nick Cupping, so I'm getting those two mixed up. But Mick Knowlton was fifth in qualifying, but very quick in the opening race. Of course, he was the one that closed down Brad Barrett by about a second in 3 to 4 laps. So he can close a gap like this down, the gap to the two leaders, about 1 second. So he did this in race 1. There's no reason why he won't do it again in race 2. It's the same driver ahead of him, although this time it's Ravenscroft in the lead with Barrett behind. But for Turney and Morin, they are in a pretty decent position. They're actually struggling to keep up with Mick Knowlton here. Mick Knowlton kind of disappearing from them as he gets another new fastest lap, 55.329. Behind the top 5, where the gap back to a battle for 6 is really starting to heat up. Dylan LaHaye has gone into 6th place. Going into 7th there was Miles Apps, having just gone past Reese Hunter. I think he was returning the favour on a move, but didn't seem to work because Hunter still seems to be in position. So going off at that part of the circuit. I can see Dylan LaHaye once again fighting with Jordan Brown Nutley, is it? Brad Barrett. So what happened to Barrett? Well, he's disappeared from the top 5. Barrett in all sorts of trouble here. He's dropping down the order now. So, well, that leaves Ravenscroft out front, McNulton second, Turney third, and Hannes Morin in 4th place. So, as we're looking down the order, Brad Barrett has had a problem somewhere, whether he's been shoved off or made a mistake or a combination of both. Brad Barrett is dropping down the order very quickly. He's nearly out of the top 10. He was 9th place across the line, and I'm sure he lost a couple more places just after the line as well. So Barrett in the wars here, but out front, Ravenscroft leading Mick Knowlton, Joe Turney, and Hannes Morin 3rd and 4th. Now, all of a sudden, with a chance to take a race victory. What's going to be the tactic for Clayton Ravenscroft, I wonder? 3rd in the opening race. Leading this one, Mick Knowlton, clearly the quicker driver, but Ravenscroft, what can he do to keep him at bay as they make their way up towards turn 6 now? Where did Barrett come across the line? He come across the line in 11th place. He's got the battle for, I think that's 6th place just ahead of him. It is. Is now led by Brown Nutley. So he has 6.5 laps to go. He has a chance to potentially get towards getting about 6th or 7th place. It'd be a big ask. That is a very talented queue of drivers ahead of him. But with the pace he's shown so far this weekend, I think he's surprised to see him make a few places. Clearly, he's going to be fired up for it as well. He'll want to at least get in the top 10 at a minimum, being in 11th at the moment. But let's focus on the leaders, because Mick Knowlton is going to make a lunge on Clayton Ravenscroft. Goes down the inside at turn 1, and Mick Knowlton takes the race lead then from Ravenscroft. Now, what's going to be the response of Clayton Ravenscroft over at the hairpin? Doesn't do anything yet. Joe Turney seems to be picking up the pace, and Joe Turney has just set a new fastest lap. The Turney quickest on track. That explains why he's opened up a gap to Hannes Morin. LaHaye is now 5th. Has there been any progress from Barrett? I think there has, actually. I think he's gone past at least one driver. I think he's actually gone past David Remy. Or is he already passed him? Either way, he's well involved in that battle now. I think he's challenging Reese Hunter. But here come the leaders out the last corner. Down the start, finish straight. Just looking back, Barrett goes past Hunter, so he's into 10th place now. As they go off the battle for 6th place, goes across the line. Now being led by Ilian Brindseal. So that battle continues to change all the time. The leaders. Oh, and well, Ravenscroft just making a mistake over at the hairpin there. Didn't seem like he was trying to make a move, but just got caught up on the inside of Mick Knowlton. Something either Mick Knowlton took a different line to what he usually does, or Ravenscroft simply got it run under brakes. But the result is that Ravenscroft's now dropped to 4th place, and with only 4 laps to go, he's given himself a bit of a task here over the next few laps. So Knowlton then leading Turney and Morin down to the last corner. Ravenscroft now 4th in that queue. Across the line they go to complete lap number 12. 4 laps remaining in this one. Now, can Joe Turney make the move on Mick Knowlton? Knowlton has set the fastest lap of the race. Did that on the last lap. Joe Turney, can he make the challenge on Knowlton? Hannes Morin has driven very well in this one as well. He's kept himself in this battle throughout the entire race. And now Hannes Morin has a chance to go for the race victory. Behind that is Clayton Ravenscroft. Then it is Dylan LaHaye. Then it's Brindseal. Then it is Brown Nutley. Then it's Apt. And then it is Brad Barrett. So Barrett now up into 9th place. So he's into the top 10. And he's got his teammates ahead of him. See if he can go past either of those. But back to the leaders. I think Turney may make a lunge for the lead here. Oh, well, he was certainly close enough if Mick Knowlton would have left him enough space. But don't think the risk was worth the reward just then. I think Joe Turney, settling for second, now wants a clear opportunity to do this. The last thing you want to do is pick up a penalty. Let's not forget he was fifth in the first race, so a second for him in this one would be a good result. That would pretty much match what match. Well, Mick Knowlton would be by far the highest point scorer with a second and a first, but Joe Turner would be putting himself potentially on the podium with a result like this. Hannes Morin, fourth and third, so he is having a very, very good day as well so far. So Hannes Morin qualified pretty well earlier. He qualified fourth place, finished fourth place. Now he's in third place, but he's got Clayton Ravenscroft behind him, so he's got to be careful of that as well, because Ravenscroft third in the earlier final. There is just 2 laps to go now, so Turney's got to make his move now. Likewise, Ravenscroft. If either of them are going to go for a position, as it looks like, really, I don't think Morin is close enough to challenge Turney just yet, unless he starts the battle with Knowlton. Looks as if the next move will either come from Turney, or in fact the more closer battle is between Ravenscroft and Morin. Let's see. It will all play out on the last lap. Just 1 lap to go as we head up towards the last corner. Got to give a lot of credit here to Mick Knowlton. He's handling the pressure very well at the moment. He's got Turney, Morin, Ravenscroft queuing up behind him, but he's not done anything. He's not got a foot wrong. He's not unnecessarily defended. He's just gone on with things, not really looking around much either. Mick Knowlton is not given any reason for Joe Turney to make a lunge at the moment. So looks as if it's going to stay as it is, unless there's a mistake or a particularly good run through the chicane for Joe Turney. What about the battle for third? Ravenscroft, I think, might just be able to get a move here on Hannes Morin. Hannes Morin is indeed going defensive, so the battle for third is well and truly on. Morin defends down towards the right-hander. Clayton Ravenscroft, he can't go all the way around the outside, can he? He can't, but Morin runs wide, catches Ravenscroft out, and that is going to be that battle done. Round the last corner, he finished second earlier on with a brilliant drive, and Mick Knowlton takes the win in race number 2. Fantastic drive there from Mick Knowlton. He almost, well, earlier on, he was very unlucky not to take the race win, having closed down Brad Barrett in the fashion he did. But Mick Knowlton this time taking the win ahead of Joe Turney, who finishes in second place. Hannes Morin finishes in third place. Morin there, as they came down towards the right-hander, Ravenscroft went for the outside. Morin, I think that caught him out, and he just ran a little bit wide, as did Ravenscroft, and that was both of them running wide. Ravenscroft coming off the worst. So that was that battle pretty much done at that point. Third for Morin, Ravenscroft fourth. 2 drivers who have had a third and a fourth piece, so they'll be on identical points going into tomorrow. Dylan LaHaye, quickest on track, 55.046. He set the fastest lap on the penultimate lap of the race. So whatever problems Dylan LaHaye was having at the beginning of the day in qualifying, he's not having them anymore. A 9th and a 5th, he'll still want a lot better results than that tomorrow, but that for Dylan LaHaye is a very good recovery. There's the result on screen for you. Ilian Brian Seals finishes in 6th place. Then it's Jordan Brown Nutley. Brad Barrett did manage to get 1 place at the end there, passing Miles Apps, so he finishes 8th. Hunter also got past that in France. David Remy was 11th. Then it was Nick Cuppins 12th. Philippe Barber 13th. Sabo Baldazar 14th. Enzo Ferrari 15th. Lars Van Bott 15th. Patrick Lundqvist was 17th. Conrad Christensen